All right, so now that we set up the form on our landing page, we need to set up the auto response sequence, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So here we are in marketing tools from your actual main menu. So you're not going to actually go into how to edit, from your, excuse me, from your, how to actually edit your website. What you want to do is go back to the main menu of your website. So go to Wix.com, and then you're going to click on your actual website and edit it, and then you're going to click marketing tools. So here it's going to take you to you'll see email marketing, you'll see triggered emails, and so on and so forth. You'll see some of my coupons here on the screen. Actually, let's go to triggered emails. I apologize for that. And what you're going to do is, for you specifically, what you want to do is, these are all my triggered emails, and this is how many times they've been sent, how many times somebody's actually clicked them, and how many times people actually have opened and viewed them. So you can see all those. You don't need to upgrade or anything like that to see those stats. Wix will provide them for you. And if I open up my automations here, you'll see all the automations that I'm running on my website right now. We're going to run through all of those. I'm going to show you all of them fully in full detail. So you'll see here that if I open up this one, some of them are prompted on their triggers when someone subscribes to a mailing list, which is exactly what we just set up, the mailing list, which was the form. So when you hit that subscribe button, someone's going to subscribe to your mailing list. So that's what we're basically after this time. If we go back, didn't mean to go all the way back there. Oh, there we go. The red ones are the purchases. So this is triggered as soon as somebody purchases, or it might be a day after somebody purchases. Let's see. This is triggered one day after somebody purchases, and it basically gives them a free code, I think, to get their next course 50% off as a thank you. So that's when somebody purchases. And you can set all these up in Autoresponse emails. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. And then finally, there are other ways to do it. So you can set up, when somebody visits, they get hit with an email. If you have their email already, when you get a new site member, all sorts of different things. But mainly what I'm going to focus on, and what I'm going to teach you to focus on, is two things. After a sale, because the best time to sell a person is actually after you've sold them, believe it or not. I have an entire sales video and sales courses on that, and I've studied selling and like online sales and stuff like that. But I'm going to teach you how to set up the auto-response sequence for after a sale. So when somebody buys from your website, if that's something that you're interested in. And then obviously after somebody subscribes, which is what 99.9% of you are probably interested in. When somebody actually submits their email on a landing page, the auto-response sequence for the subscribers that I'm going to show you here today. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to hit from this automations tab, new automation. And then you'll see here that it gives you a bunch of different, avenues and things that you can do to set it up. And that's what we're going to run through, because that's how you're going to do it. So you'll see here that when someone submits a contact form, and this is something that might be a little bit confusing for you guys. So you're not going to do the contact form. The only time you're going to do the contact form is if you actually have a contact form set up at the bottom of your website, like contact me. What you're interested in, if you set up that box right here to collect emails, you're interested in subscribes to a mailing list, not the contact form. They're a little bit similar. Don't get confused. And then also, you can simply select makes a purchase. So if somebody just made a purchase, you can set up the timing that they get the next email in your auto response sequence after they made a purchase. If you have a member site, you can obviously set up the automation for people that log into your site, for people that sign up to your site, for people that get approved as a site member, and so on and so forth. All right, so what we want, basically what the majority of you are going to want are, like I said, you can do the makes a purchase. If you want to set up, just use what I'm about to show you for subscribing to a mailing list and the auto response sequence for that for makes a purchase. You can go back in and obviously create new ones for makes a purchase if you should so choose. We're going to do subscribes to a mailing list, and then we're going to scroll down to the action that we want to perform when somebody subscribes to a mailing list. So we're going to send an email. You don't need to ever do the notify, because you can do that straight from the actual form. And you can also send a chat message if you want. If you have the chat thing set up on your website, you can also download the Wix app, and then you can chat back and forth with them if that's something that you want to do. I don't recommend doing that, because the whole purpose of doing the auto response sequence, in my opinion, is to automate the process. So you don't want to actually start a chat with them. So 99.9% of you, and me too, are going to click send an email to the visitor. And then you can obviously craft your email here, so you can edit your template, you can preview and test it. So if we click edit the template here, it's going to take us into edit the template, and you can obviously, you're going to have to mold your own emails and do your own emails for you, because I can't write your email. I don't know. Everybody is going to have a different niche, a different market, a different product that they might be pushing, a different, subject that they want to talk about per email. So you have to, obviously use your best judgment and create your email auto response sequence. But typically speaking, and I'm going to show you my email auto response sequence at the end of this course so you'll be able to see it. You want to give a little bit of value first. So give some value. Next email gives some value. Next email gives some value. And then hit them with, maybe a potential sale for a product or an affiliate product or, a course that you might have or something like that. So you're going to have to, it's pretty much drag and drop. So you can literally just click in and, type whatever you want and then X out of the other things. Just like I said before, it's drag and drop. So you can add a link if you want to, for whatever reason. If you wanted the picture to be linked, didn't mean to do that. If you want the picture to be linked, just hover over the picture and edit the picture or add a link. Now, if you do want to switch the picture, you can double click it and upload an image and hit add to page, and that will simply change your picture. So if I wanted this mailbox money picture, I would just simply add that there. Boom, done. If you want to delete the picture, same as usual, just like any drag and drop website, you're going to remove it. And here it comes with a button. You can edit the button, edit the text, edit the link on the button, and obviously write in your own message. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. And if you want to add anything, just hit the add button here. Now, we're going to pretend that we're going to send a free dropshipping course here, because that's what this is what we're just going to play with this theme throughout this entire course to stick with the same niche. And then we'll pretend that this is some text about that, and maybe this is the dropshipping course button to take them to the actual dropshipping course. Now, I always say add a video on your first auto response email to basically say, hey, welcome. I'm glad that you if you're obviously giving a dropshipping course, you want to say, hey, I'm glad that you signed up for the free dropshipping course. There's a lot of valuable content coming your way. If you want the free dropshipping course, check the link down below in this actual email, and I'll show you this later in my auto response sequence at the end of the course. You're going to see exactly what I do in my auto response sequence, so maybe you can set yours up similar if you want. And then also what you're going to say is, by the way, keep an eye out for future emails, because I want to give you a lot of value, not just this course, but more value in the future. But I can't give it all to you in this one email because I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So I'm going to give it to you in bits and pieces and chunks to help you out, so keep an eye out for future emails. And what that's going to do is it's going to warm them up and develop that rapport with them so that they're more susceptible and more inclined to pay attention to your emails in the future, open them up, read through them, and be susceptible to your messages in the future. And that's basically setting up the auto response sequence. So we're going to pretend that you just created your email. Like I said, I'm not going to take you through every drag and drop and every possibility because everyone has different niches. But I will show you my auto response sequence in full at the end of this course, and then we're going to hit save and continue when you're done. And then you'll see that you finally done the template. If you want to preview and test it, you can hit preview and test, and that will send you, you're going to send the test email out to your specific email. It'll ask you where, and that way you can check it ahead of time before you set it up. And then finally, you're going to choose the time that this action takes place. So first you're going to send, when somebody actually subscribes to your email list, so when they actually submit their email like I do here, you're going to send an email to your visitors that looks like this and has all these, capabilities, and then you're going to set the time of day. So if this is your first email, you're going to want to send it immediately if you promise them a product or a service or something like that. If you're setting up another, your second email, then obviously you're going to go back in and you're going to hit subscribes to a mailing list, and the same course of action with a different email template here. And then you might hit, depending on what you want your sequence to look like, maybe 7 days. Maybe you're going to set, a 1 day and then hit enter. Maybe you want that to be, if you edit it here, maybe you want that to be 3 days. It's that simple, and that's how you're going to just continue to add them on top of each other. So you're going to activate one that's immediate, come back in, add another one, activate one that's like 2 days, come back in, add another one that's different, maybe that's 4 days, and then you're going to continue to activate them, and that will basically take you to this page right here. If we can go back, whoops, don't want to go there. let's go back to automations, and that's going to start to show you that it's going to show you that you're going to build them here on this page, and then you can activate them or deactivate them as you please, and then you can obviously go back in and edit them if you want to. So make sure that when you name them and you create them, that that's the last step. Before, I didn't actually hit create, but that will be the last step. Name them something with numbers maybe, so that you know what they actually are. I forgot to do that when I actually started creating them. I organize them now, but you want to name them with either a number or something that's going to be familiar with what you know, so that you don't get lost here. Because if you have a bunch of them like I do, then obviously it's easy to kind of get sidetracked, and that's, you know, just a little tip that might help you out. So with that being said, like I said, you can create yours depending on whatever your niche is and however your timing sequence is, but that's the best way to go. And